Yeah, we are family. That's the Pointer Sisters, isn't it? Yeah, the Pointer Sisters. Gosh, I finally remembered the right name.
You just got to remind yourself, we are family.
Now, I want to say again, before the end of the last section, before the break, I was talking about an Associated Press MTV study where they'd asked 1,280 people ages 12 to 24 the question, spending time with family, all right? What makes you the happiest? Is spending time with family make you happy? And 100% of them said, yeah. Second was spending time with friends. But get that, second was spending time with friends. You know, I have to tell you, I've had my share of troubles with my kids. And when I got more involved with the kids because of the troubles they were in, the more they liked it. Wouldn't you agree, Susan?
I do.
You know, the more it wasn't like, Dad, you're in my space. It was like, oh, cool, Dad. I mean, because of how I studied with my son and doing his homework and teaching biology and doing algebra with him and all kinds of things. One, I found out I still remembered all that stuff. Plus, his grades went from C's to A's. And the kids in his class were going, hey, how'd you do that? He goes, well, my dad helps me. And I went, ha-ha, feels so good. You know what I mean? So now, spending time with family. So what does it really all mean? You know, family, and even bigger than that, relationship is a huge part of what makes young people happy. And I should say what makes all people happy. It's what young people gravitate to, all right? Even though the relationships could be unhealthy at times. It's like relationship. How can I feel like I have an identity? Somebody else is out there that is like me or I'm like them. So we need to get our kids to choose to be like others as long as the others are role models, but not negative role models. So building a healthy relationship with young people, how do you do that? So did you have a...
Well, I have a quote.
Quote? Yeah.
Yes, I'd really like to read.
Susan has a quote. Susan?
Fanfare.
It's from,
Fanfare. Da-da-da-da-da.
it's from Garrison Keillor.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Nothing you do for children is ever wasted. They seem not to notice us, hovering, averting our eyes, and they seldom offer thanks. We know about that sometimes. But what we do for them is never wasted.
Yeah.
Isn't that
how cool.
Wow, that's such a Garrison Keillor quote.
It
He had to hash it out.
Makes you think, though. You think about it.
That's true.
I mean, it's pretty cool. All right, family dynamics is very, shall we say, difficult to navigate. Now, think about that. However, when we as adults choose to create an atmosphere where our young people feel valued and where we have a place to fully and safely and completely say what they need to say, we build one of the most powerful bridges there is between two people. It's called communication. You know, have you ever assumed something of somebody, never asked them, and then found out you were wrong? Have you ever assumed somebody was happy and then read in the paper one day where they're no longer on the planet? Have you ever seen kids look like everything's fine, but they go upside down? Have you ever heard about a beautiful model that ends up ending their life because no men ever asked them out? And the men don't ask them out because they think they're so pretty they'll be said no to, and everybody's already asking them. The truth is nobody's asking them. So bridging the gap. How do you bridge the gap from what you think is going on to what is really going on? And it's called communication.
Clay, we have Stacy on the line. She has a question about communication in the family.
Hi, Stacy. Thanks for calling in.
Hi. So my question is, I find that it's a lot more difficult, or it's very difficult to communicate and tell how I'm feeling to my family members than it is to people I don't know or aren't in my family. Why is it so much more difficult to do that instead of, someone else that I don't really know?
Well, one thing I've noticed is that we treat the people we love the most much harsher than we treat a stranger. Mm-hmm. Also, it's harder for us many times to talk to a family member because we know their bad times. We know how they react. We know what plugs them in. We know, or we think we know, what makes them mad. Mm-hmm. And as an offspring or a young person speaking to a father or a mother, there's always the fear of, oh gosh, he's going to yell at me, or oh gosh, he's going to make me wrong, or oh gosh, it's going to be ugly, or oh gosh, they won't understand. Mm-hmm. Because in the past, they haven't.
Yeah.
And you have to learn, it's like kids have to learn to forgive kids. People have to learn to forgive each other. And guess who else needs to learn how to forgive? Kids need to learn how to forgive their parents because guess what? They don't have a book to follow. They're doing the best they can with what they got, and their parents are just as human as the kids are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So give them a second chance.
Okay.
Now, yeah, well, it's true though, hon. You got to give them a second, sometimes third, fourth, fifth chance. And for dads, as a daughter, you're a daughter.
Yeah.
For dads, you got to give them 10, 11, 12 chances. Okay.
Okay.
Don't worry, but they'll make it. Someday they'll come to you and go, "Whew, we made it. Thank goodness, aren't I cool?"
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay, take care. Hey, listen
Thanks,
to the rest of
Stacey.
the show about family meetings, and you'll see what I mean.
Okay, cool.
All right,
Thanks, Stacey.
Thanks for calling in. All right, now, so bridging the gap. And the gap is what you believe someone is, or what you believe someone said, or what you believe someone is going to do versus what's true. And the way you bridge that gap is you ask, you communicate. So communication within the family unit is strained by many factors, including time. It's like how much time we have to communicate. All right? Time is always a problem. Also, assumption is always the problem. You know, it's like family, for some reason, lives in the land of I'll get to it. You know, I've got to talk to Johnny about this, or I've got to talk to CJ about that, or I'm mad at Elizabeth for saying this or doing this or not doing that or not doing this, you know?
Like expecting it to be
Yeah,
a certain
like
way.
she should know better. She's known me all her life, for goodness sakes. You know what I mean? Now, studies suggest that parents and teens spend less time than an hour a day with each other. Now, think about that. Less than an hour a day. So think about that. So you got 13 to 18, and where do your kids go? As far away from you as possible. Or they're not, miles away. They're just in their room.
Which could be very miles away.
Which could be miles away.
Yes.
That's right. So at the same time, teens are receiving information about life, communication, relationships, intimacy, but they're receiving the information from movies, from the internet, from magazines, from television, from music, okay? So that's really scary. It's like, where are these kids getting their input from, and what is the input? So you have, as a parent, you have to get involved, but not force. You don't beat down. Like, I have never, ever disrespected my kid's bedroom door. I don't go in that bedroom unless I'm invited. That's their space. Now, I can't say I haven't walked in there and weren't there because I wanted to know what was in there. I have done that. But I don't open drawers or do any other stuff. I just walk in there and go, boy, a lot of stuff going on in here, right?
Yeah.
And then walk out. Or I empty the waste paper baskets or get all the Pepsi cans out of there or whatever I do.
Speaking of that, Clay, we had an email that came in here, and it asks, where does a parent's responsibility in the communication end, and where does the child's responsibility begin?
In agreement. I mean, the answer to that is in agreement. It's all about you have an agreement. And the agreement goes like this. Son or daughter, I want you to know I don't care what you do. I don't care where you're doing it. I don't care when you're doing it. Anytime you're in trouble or you need help, I want you to know you can call me. I will come and get you. I will talk to you, and I won't make you wrong. I won't beat you up, and I won't ground you, at least the first time. Okay? So it's the agreement is, look, you have the right to do and experience what you're going to do and experience. Just know that if the experience turns out to be negative, all you got to do is pick up the phone and I will come and get you. That's the agreement. Okay? So you got that? Now, so what we're really talking about is building trust. All right? Building a place where an offspring, a youngster, can come and say what they need to say or say what they're afraid of and not be afraid of what you're going to say. You want to be their mentor, not someone they're afraid of. Now, what happens if you fly off the handle and you do whatever you do, or you put them up against a wall, or they're doing something that is totally ridiculous, and you make the big mistake of making a bigger thing out of it than you should? You know, I've done that before. And the only thing I knew to do was to apologize and to let them know that I would never do something like that again, and that I'm human. And we have a relationship now where whenever there's a, shall we say, a testy moment between me and an offspring, I keep my hands in my pockets, a smile on my face, and I listen until they're complete. Would you say that's true?
Yes, you
All right.
learned very well.
Life is tough, okay? Now, how do you take the guesswork out of communication with young people? How do you do that? Think about that. What is guesswork between young people and you? You know, it's called assumptions. Now, we're going to go on a break now, so I've got to, God, breaks are coming up fast.
I know,
aren't
they are.
I know, they're speeding
I want to
along.
communicate, and I can't. I got to do all this stuff.
You got to talk really fast.
Yeah, so this is Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour. Give me a call, 805-564-1290 or 866-564-1290. or email me at clay@mediasb.com, or go to www.claynelsonlifebalance.com/watch, WATCH. Get on back here.